Welcome back everyone. Now we finally reached the domain and we would like to know what kind of artifacts are inside. One of the things in Natlan is that you can control all of these creatures. So let's see if we can fight as one inside the domain as well. Let's have a look. So let's go in. I will choose a team I use regularly and let's have a look at the enemies. So looks like we cannot take our little creature inside. So bad, maybe it would have some abilities that would help us in the fight. The domain looks really nice. So bad it's not an area inside the main map. And we have a new enemy made of 3 of those large rock things. They are both melee and ranged.
I didn't foresee this.
And it looks like they're also dealing quite a lot of damage to our units. Maybe even a little bit too much. And we are not dealing much damage in return. Like the health bar looks quite full.
How dare you!
Maybe we should be more careful with team and equipment management before going inside, but let's see how this turns out.
Shower me with praise! Someone help me! Stop that! How brilliant!
Let's just say we were not very successful. So let's remove our green friend from the front of the domain and let's try again with some different setup. Hope this time we will be successful. So let's see if Raiden Hyper Bloom can make the job done. We'll open up with some Hydro, some passive application with swirls, then add a ton of Dendro on top. Just a side note, there is not much elemental mastery on the Raiden, so this could go better if I really want it, but I never really played Raiden for Hyper Bloom. Still, we see we are quite low on health. Thankfully we have Jean ready with her ultimate. Now we are seeing the HP go down. take 3, and this is getting a bit embarrassing. Let's just add more healing into the mix. So now let's go with Al-Haytham, Cookie, Purina and Jin as a support for damage. Now we see we got a much higher hyperbeam numbers, and we are eroding them, their HP bar more than ours. So it looks like we might finally see some artifacts.
Here you are.
Lightning Terrify! Yoo-hoo!
At this point I completely forgot that the point of this video is how to choose the new artifacts when I'm farming a new set. That's very powerful and I need it, so let's have a look. Oh, we got 3 pieces right away. We have an energy recharge clock, which is not common. It's useful for all kinds of burst related themes, and can be useful for any character that needs more energy. Definitely something we want to keep in a new set. Then we have a defense headpiece, which is not common at all, and I don't know if we are getting any defense scaling characters in Natlan, but let's just keep it as a part of the new set that we don't yet have. And finally we have an under average flower as well. I also like to check 4 stars if there is anything interesting. For example, here we can use a dendro damage bonus if we don't have it in 5-star variant, and there are also some very uncommon pieces that we can get in 4-star variant instead of 5-star, so that will make the farming faster. And now let's get more of those nice artifacts, as we are very experienced fighters and can go through whole domain in under a minute.
Oh boys!
Get with me! Out of my way! Yoo-hoo! Wind, hear me! Let the world come alive!
So let's see what we have, and this always happens, so let me tidy it up. So we have an attack clock with crab substat, and we have an elemental mastery headpiece, which seems like a really useful things if we have some elemental mastery scaling characters. Also the substat on it were quite good, so let's keep both of them. And let's continue with our 3rd run. So how do we decide if we have a correct artifact? For example, on this feather we have 2 offensive stat in percent, which is, let's say, mid-level, but because this is only our 3rd run, it's really good and we want to keep it. Still can be turned into a nice artifact if we have some useful rolls. And then we have another clock that would be amazing for an offensive defense scaling character, which again we don't know if it's coming in Natlan. and I would not recommend to keep it for most players, but I plan to build defense scaling characters in the future, so I am keeping things like this that have both crit rate and crit damage substat, which is not common at all. So I will definitely try to keep this for a bit longer before I see if it's useful or not. Now we have a mid-level offensive flower and quite good feather for somebody like Nuvilet or Natlan version of Nuvilet per se. Not much for the 4 stars. This run we have 3 pieces again, which is always nice. We have a bad flower, we don't need to keep it. We have a quite broken timepiece. This one I will probably raise to a higher level because it has a quite amazing combination of 4 substats. All of them are person based, so they scale with the strength of the character, which is something we really want to keep late game. And we have a critical damage headpiece. Okay, what can I add? It's an uncommon piece and it comes on an offensive set that can give you 40% crit rate basically for an Natlan character. This is something really nice and I'm very happy that we got this so quickly into the run. Now we have another 3 pieces, a mid-level flower, another defense piece, and an Anemo damage goblet. Okay, maybe we are getting some Anemo DPS in the future Natlan update, who knows. And we got this piece. I just want to keep it for some reason. I think I will throw it away the first time I can. Now we have another mid flower and we have another elemental mastery headpiece. Okay, this one is not common, but I don't think we need 2 of them. Yeah, we have another feather, another flower, both of them quite common. I think at this point we already have multiple flowers and feathers, so we can have a look at both and pick only the best ones that we really want to raise for an upcoming character. We have another 3 pieces, let's say a higher mid-level feather, a lower mid-level feather, and a crit rate headpiece that we don't have, but maybe it will be useful at some point, even though this artifact set gives us 40% crit rate. So I don't think a crit rate headpiece will be as useful as in other sets. And here we see a very uncommon piece that is an elemental mastery goblet, which is so rare and uncommon that I decided to keep them even if they are in 4-star variations, as we might need it for some future Natlan character. So how did our fighting skills improve after so many runs? Maybe not so much. Let's not talk about fighting. Let's skip right away back to our artifact sorting through. So on the last round we have 3 5-star artifacts, a mid-level feather for me, another feather, maybe for a support based character, and quite nice flower for, let's say, a health scaling character. And that would be all from my side for this run. Let's say that we saw the first artifacts that we had from this set and decided to pick the best pieces we have. In the later videos I can have a look at which one to raise and which characters I want to use, but at this point I only have Kachina, and for that I basically only need some defense pieces on the support set, and that's all I need. So I hope this video was useful, and maybe you can share your thoughts on which artifacts to choose when you are farming a new set for the... I plan to double down on this topic with future videos. Thank you for watching and goodbye.